Welcome to Learn It Training. The exercise files for today's course are located in the video description below. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hello and welcome to PowerPoint 2021 Introduction. My name is Mo Jones and I'm happy to guide you through this tutorial for our Introduction to PowerPoint 2021. We'll cover the basic features while exploring the visually refreshed interface. I look forward to exploring what 2021 has to offer with you. Remember, this is an interactive tutorial. I will occasionally remind you to pause the video and practice what you've learned. Welcome to PowerPoint 2021. I just launched my PowerPoint 2021 application and I am presented with the start screen. So this is our nice start screen here. There are a lot of things that we can interact with here, but I do want to point out there are three main areas that we want to kind of focus on here. Notice that we have a big open tab over here on our top left. We also have a new tab here. And we also have our home tab. I do want to point out we're currently active on our home tab as well. So what are some of the things that we can do here on our home tab? Well, we can go ahead and open up a new presentation. We can go ahead and search for a presentation, or we can interact with this menu here, which allows us to take a look at our recent files, our pinned files, or any files that have been shared with us as well. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at my recent files here. So I'll click on recent. And notice it shows me all the recent files that I've been working on. If I just kind of go down this list here, it shows the newest file first that I've worked on and the oldest file as well. As you can see, I've been working on some files today as well. And you may have a longer list than I do, and that's okay. You can always go ahead and click on more presentations, and that will give you a more exhaustive list of all the presentations that you have saved, whether on your computer or in your cloud space as well. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at my pinned files. So right now I do have one file that's pinned, and pinning a file is pretty cool. If I go back to my recent files here, notice as I mouse over each file, I have the option here to pin it. Maybe I'll go ahead and pin this file here. I'll just do a quick check, click on my pinned files. And there it is. Pinning files are a very good idea when you want to make sure that you always have access to those most important files there as well. So I can go ahead and take a look at files that have been shared with me. Right now I don't have anything shared. I am connected with my Microsoft account, and so that feature is available if I were to have some files shared with me by my colleagues here as well. I can go ahead and click on the search box here and search for a file. This is useful if you have a lot of presentations and they're just not kind of showing up here on the main window. You can go ahead and type in the name that will bring up the files for you as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at some themes up here. So now we can go ahead and interact with this tab here. We can go ahead and open a blank presentation. We can open up some pre-built presentations by Microsoft. This is kind of like a welcome and a small tutorial on implementing 3D. You may recognize these themes over here to the right. These are the built-in themes here for PowerPoint 2021. Let's go ahead and take a look at some more themes. And why would you want to use a theme or a template? So these are the themes that comes with PowerPoint 2021. But if you're looking for a template, you can always interact with this menu here. So there's different types of templates. You have presentations, we have themes, educational, charts, diagrams, business. I'm going to go ahead and click on a business template, see what options are there. So these are really pre-built for you. Why would you want to use a template? Maybe you're running out of ideas. Maybe you're just kind of stuck on what you want to do. Or maybe you just want to have a really good starting point. Maybe you'll scroll through here and find something that you like, and you'll go ahead and get started with that. This one looks pretty nice. Creative presentation. I'm going to go back here. And you can always search for some more online templates and themes as well. I'm going to head over to my third tab here, which is my Open tab. And notice from here, there's a few things that we can do as well. We can open up some files that are recent. So if I click on here, it'll show my recent files that I've opened here as well. I can go ahead and open up files that have been shared with me. Or I can go ahead and open up some files from my OneDrive account. So if I click on here, it shows me my folder. And I can go up a folder level if I want to. So I have my documents, my pictures, and I can see my files here as well. I can also go ahead and navigate for files on my computer. Right, so on this PC, if I go ahead and click on here, and this is really nice because it's a lot easier to just kind of come in here and search for your files. Sometimes it's hard to use the computer menu. Maybe you kind of forgot where you had your files. Did I save it in my documents folder or my downloads? Very, very, very difficult sometimes as well. You can go ahead and add a place. I'm already connected to my OneDrive, so I'm pretty good to go. I'll leave that alone. And then finally, if you want that old Windows menu or that Mac menu, that's fine. You can go ahead and click on Browse. This will open up the dialog box for your computer, where you can go ahead and search anywhere on your computer for that file as well. So go ahead, I'm going to go back to my Home tab here. Go ahead and pause this video. Check out some of the themes and the templates. Welcome back. Well, hopefully you were able to go ahead and take a look at some of those themes in the gallery. Maybe you were able to take a look at some of the templates as well. Lots of great features there for you. And maybe you were able to go ahead and pin some files as well. At this point, let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and open up a blank presentation. And we're going to jump in and see what PowerPoint 2021 has to offer. Notice I'm still on my Home tab and I'm in my New section. I'm going to go ahead and open up a blank presentation here. And the first thing that you notice is that you have this really nice new look here. And some of the words that kind of pop out, it just looks really clean. When you take a look at the ribbon, it looks clear. We have some more neutral tones happening here. And overall, it just looks really smooth and really, really simple as well. So this is our new look. And notice we have some simple icons here. We have some rounded edges on our ribbon. And this makes it look really, really nice here as well. And so remember, we have our ribbon, which is really the main driving force behind our presentations here. So we have this ribbon, which is really a nice way of just condensing all of these commands that we really like and love to use in PowerPoint. It was a very, very good solution to kind of condense everything in the form of a ribbon here. And let's just take a quick review of what the ribbon is all about. So notice this is the entire ribbon. So we have several ribbon tabs. So we have our File tab, we have our Home tab, Insert tab. We have this new Drawing tab, which we'll talk about a little later as well. We have our Design tab, Transitions, Animations, Slideshow. To record, we have a Record tab as well. Review, View, and we also have our Help tab as well. So the whole concept here is that for each tab, you will have different command groups. So right now, I'm on the Home tab. And notice I have several command groups. So I have my clipboard group here, which has commands related to our clipboard, so we can paste, copy. We have our slides command group here. We can interact with different slide commands, and our all popular font group here that we can interact with and format our text. We have our paragraph command group here as well. And we also have our drawing. And finally, we have our editing command group here as well. So a really nice way. We spend most of our time here in the font group. So if I click on inside of my content placeholder here, it becomes active. And now I can apply some formatting here if I want to. A really cool feature, if I just move my mouse up to the top here in between any of these ribbon tabs. If I just scroll, I can actually scroll through each ribbon tab, which is really, really pretty cool. So I'm going to go back here. You may be wondering, where is our quick access toolbar? Right? It looks like it's missing. Normally, it's right up here, but this is not our quick access toolbar. These are just some default for saving our presentation here. That's a new feature. I want to make sure that we can always save our presentation. So our quick access toolbar is actually now here, which is below our ribbon. So it's right here. As you can see, I've already added some commands to my quick access toolbar here. So what is the quick access toolbar? Why would you need it? If you work often in PowerPoint, you already know a lot of the commands that you use often. And instead of just kind of scrolling and going through each ribbon tab, you can just pin your favorite commands here. So for example, I know that I like to use the spell checker often. So I went ahead and added my spell checker here. I like to use the bold text feature. So I went ahead and added my bold here as well. I'm going to go ahead and add my highlighter by right-clicking. And it's as easy as just saying, add it to the quick access toolbar. Yeah. So now I have a few commands. I think I'll keep it simple. If I keep adding it, it's just going to keep growing and growing over to my right. So I'll leave it there for now. We do have the drop down here for the quick access toolbar. So you can always go ahead and click on it. And you can add commands right here. So if you want to add some, you can do that. Or if you want to remove a command, if I wanted to remove my spell checker, I can just unclick it here. My spell checker is gone. If I want to remove something, I can also right click on the quick access toolbar. And I can say, go ahead and remove this from the quick access toolbar. If you want to move it, you can do that. Click on the menu here. And we can go ahead and say, show this above the ribbon. This will move it above to the top of the ribbon for us. So notice it has moved. Now it's right here at the top. Maybe you prefer it to be there. It's up to you. But go ahead and play around with it. Go ahead and move your quick access toolbar to wherever you want to move it. Go ahead and take a look at the menu options here. Take a look at each one and see what kind of lives inside of these as well. Play around with them, customize it. Another thing that we can do over here is we can interact with our ribbon. So we can click on our drop down. Notice from here, we can completely hide the quick access toolbar if we want to. We can go ahead and enter full screen mode if we want to. Or if we want to, we can just go ahead and show the tabs only. One of the great features of PowerPoint, just mousing over often gives you an idea of what the command does. So for show tabs only shows the ribbon tabs. Click a tab to show the ribbon with the commands. We can also go ahead and hide it. And there's a lot of things that we can do. We can uncheck, always show the ribbon, and the ribbon will go ahead and collapse for us. So configure your ribbon, configure your quick access toolbar, pause this video, and come right back. Okay, welcome back. Well, hopefully you were able to go ahead and make some changes to your quick access toolbar and make some changes to your ribbon as well. One of the features that I really like about PowerPoint is our search feature. Notice we do have this search box here at the top of our screen. And this is more than just searching. Normally you think search is searching for a keyword or an item in your presentation, but it's much more than that. It has several layers of results for us. We'll go ahead and take a look at that as well. Just going to go ahead and click inside of my search box here. And maybe I forgot just what themes are all about. And I want to go ahead and add a theme to PowerPoint here. So I'll go ahead and type the word theme and look at what it's doing. It's giving us some really, really nice options here. So for example, it's giving us actions that we can take. It's giving us some additional help. It's giving us this find feature. It's also giving us access to files that refers to a theme. And we're also getting more results. So a lot of different options here. And I really, really like this feature. Let's go through each of them and see what kind of lives there. So again, I'm just going to go in here and type theme. And as far as the actions are concerned, if I just mouse over, look, I can go ahead and apply a theme right here. Pretty cool. And notice as I mouse over each theme, it's applying it to my current presentation, giving me a preview of what it would look like. So I can browse through the themes here as well. I can go ahead and look for theme colors. So notice by default, we have the office theme here. Go ahead and change these as well. Okay, so different actions here as well. We can get some help on themes. And so if I were to just go ahead and click on this arrow here, it gives me some different options here. I can change the look and feel of Office, right? So just some nice little tutorials there as well. If I wanted to go ahead and look for the word theme in my presentation, I can go ahead and look for it as well. And then there's some files that PowerPoint is searching based on that keyword. Maybe there's a file that corresponds to that theme here as well. And if I wanted more options here, I can get more search results such as definitions, images, and more from Microsoft Bing. So if I click on there, it opens up a little sidebar here for me, a side pane, and I can get a definition here. And so here's my definition of a theme. I can get some more suggestions down here, some more tutorials. And so really, it's just a really, really nice feature. If I scroll all the way to the bottom here, I'm getting some media results relating to themes, more help. And then finally, I get some web hits here as well. And so what I like to tell people, if you don't know how to perform a task in PowerPoint, maybe you forgot, maybe things moved around, go ahead and use that search bar. You'll be surprised at the results that you'll find. Go ahead and type in the search bar. Go ahead and look for a few different items there and take a look at that menu and take a look at how many different layers of results it will give you. So go ahead and pause this video, play around with the search bar there, and I'll see you soon. Welcome back. Well, now let's go ahead and start talking about developing our presentation here. So for our plan today, we're going to document what we're learning. We're going to create a slideshow to document what we're learning. Each slide will represent a different feature of PowerPoint that we're learning. So right now we're on our title slide. I'm going to go ahead and just give it a title here. So this is PowerPoint. And the subtitle is waiting for me. I'm just going to go ahead and type the word introduction here as well. Very good. So right now, notice our default slide is a title slide. It gives us a title and it gives us a subtitle here. So let's go ahead and insert another slide. There's several ways that we can insert a new slide. Notice right now, I do have the first slide over here in our slide pane. I do have it selected. So if I were to press the Enter key, it would give me an automatic slide here, which is a title and content. I'm going to go ahead and delete this slide by right-clicking on it. I'm going to go ahead and delete this slide. But what we want to do, we want to kind of go ahead and make use of the menu. So notice I'm on the Home tab here. And in my Slides group, I'm going to go ahead and interact with the New Slide command here. So I'll go ahead and click on that drop down. And it's asking me now, well, what kind of slide do I want to insert? These are different slide layouts. So this is the title slide, similar to what we have now. We do not want to insert another title slide, right? We want to kind of get going here. We have a title and content. As you can see, we can create a section header. If we wanted to kind of create different sections in our presentation, we can do that as well. We have two content. This is very, very popular. We can have two content side by side with a title. We have comparison. The only difference between comparison and two content is that you get a small text box on top of each content placeholder. Allows you to add more information there as well. You can add a title only slide. This is beneficial if you want to have a title, but you want to have a lot of room where you can add different types of content, media, and things of that nature as well. If you really want a blank canvas, you do have the option to insert a blank slide as well. The other two that we can insert is a content with caption. This kind of puts things on the left margin for you and leaves the right side to have your content. Then we have our picture with caption. Okay. So these are different slide layouts. I'm going to go ahead and insert my title and my content here. So notice I have my title here, and I have what's called a content placeholder. So this big box here is a content placeholder. And as you can see, there's several things that I can insert here. A table, a chart, smart art, 3D models, an icon, video, stock images, or pictures, whether from my computer or from online as well. But before we start typing on this slide, we need to start thinking about colors and fonts and effects, right? What are some of the colors that we want to add to this? Well, when we're talking about colors and fonts and effects, we are talking about design. So I'm going to go ahead and click on my design tab here. Go ahead and click on it as well. And we notice a few things here. So I can go ahead and insert a theme. And once I insert that theme, I can get additional variants here. So I can have a variation within my very own theme. So I'm going to go ahead and click on my row icon here. But before I do, I'm just going to go ahead and mouse over each theme. And it's giving me a nice preview of what it would look like. Okay, so very nice here. If you want to see all of them, just click on the More button here, and you can see all of them right here as well. You can browse for more themes if you want to online, but these are here. I like Iron Boardroom. I'm going to go ahead and select that one. And I'll just go back to my title slide to kind of see how that looks. Okay, nice variation of purple there. I'll go back to my other slide. That looks pretty good. I think I'll go ahead and just change the variation there. Maybe I'll take a look at some of the variants here that I have access to. And I'm just going to go ahead and mouse over each one. So this is kind of a greenish effect. Here's a blue. Here's a reddish orangish. I like this blue. I'll go ahead and select that one. I'll take a quick peek at my title slide just to see how it looks. I think that looks nice. Not too bright, not too crazy, pretty subtle, simple, but very, very nice as well. So now we're ready to go ahead and start working on our second slide here. So go ahead. I want you to go ahead and pause this video. Go ahead and choose a theme and go ahead and add a variant to that theme if necessary, and then come right back and we'll continue to develop our lesson here on slide number 2. Okay, so now it's a good time to take a quick pause and take a look at some of our shortcuts here. So we'll give this slide the title of Shortcuts. And one thing that we have not done yet is we have not saved our presentation. And we can go ahead and save we can press the F12 key. We can also go ahead and press Control plus S, and that will save for us. I'm going to go ahead and press the F12 key here. And it's going to go ahead and bring up my presentation here. I'm just going to go ahead and call this PowerPoint Intro. I'll save that to my Documents folder there. Of course, you can always go back to your File tab and press Save as well. Control S will actually save the file for you as well. So the first time you press Control S, it will ask you, where do you want to save the file? And then after it's saved, if you press Control S again, it will just update the file for you. It will update your changes, but it will not open a menu for you as well. Okay. So once again, I did say earlier that we like to spend a lot of time up here in our font group. So we'll take advantage of some of the shortcuts that are in here as well. And so let's talk about bolding. Now, one of the great features here, if you just mouse over bold, it tells you the shortcut right there. So to bold text, you just press Control B. So I'm going to go here and so bold. I'll go ahead and highlight that. And I'll press Control B. Bold it for me. Very good. So Control plus B will do that for us. We like to have italics. as well. And if we just right back up to our font group, Control+I. So I'm just going to go ahead and double click. This will select all of my text. I'll press Control-I. That will italicize that for me. I don't want this to be bold. I'll press Control-B and remove the bold from it as well. So Control+I. And we'll do underline as well. Not many people use underline anymore just because it kind of looks like an hyperlink. A lot of people think. So Control-B is for bold, Control-L is for I, and so Control-U will be for underline. Let's go ahead and Control-U that. I'll remove the bold by pressing Control-B from here as well. And there you go. So there's underline. So we have Control+U gives us underline. Well, what if we want to kind of change the alignment here as well? So notice right now it's left aligned. And we know it's left aligned because if we go up to our paragraph group here, which is our second command group here, we can see right here that it is left justified. But what if we want to go ahead and center our text or maybe align it to the right? We have some shortcut keys as well that we can use for that. So we just go right here. If we want to center, it's Control-E. So center, align is Control+E. I'm going to triple click here to select all of my text on that line. I'll go ahead and press Control-E. Centers that for me. Very good. So now what if I want to right justify it? Just mouse over, it's Control-R. So now I'll put right align. And this is Control+R. I'll triple click again to highlight everything on this line. I'll press Control-R. There you go. Those are just some quick shortcuts there. Very basic shortcuts, but they're there for us. They're very, very useful. Let's go ahead, type some text in this box. If you want to type these, that's perfectly fine. But go ahead and practice some of the common commands over here in our font group and our paragraph group as well. Get some practice, pause the video, and then come right back. Welcome back. Now let's go ahead and talk about editing text, one of my favorite things to do in PowerPoint, besides animations and transitions. So I'm going to go ahead and head over back to my home tab here. And I'm just going to go ahead in my slide command group, get a little more practice here inserting slides. This time, I'm going to go ahead and click on the drop down here. And what I want this time is I want to content. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click on to content there. And notice we have two placeholders here that we can interact with as well. I'm going to go ahead and give this a title. I'll just call this editing text. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to write my 4 favorite Microsoft apps here. So I'll go ahead and put Excel. I'll put Word. Put PowerPoint. And then I'll go ahead and press Enter. And then I'll put Outlook. Very good. Now, notice this is a bulleted list, or depending on the type of theme that you chose. So mine is a bulleted list, and I know that to be true because on my home tab, if I go back to my paragraph, I can look right here and I can see that this list is bulleted here as well. Okay. What if I want to change these bullets? I don't want it to be, little triangles. Maybe I want them to be something else. I can go ahead and click on this drop down here, and I can get a preview of what they would look like. However, notice only my last item there is changing. That's because what I have to do is I have to make sure that I have the entire content placeholder selected. So currently, we can see a dotted line kind of around my content placeholder here. When I click inside, it's a dotted line. What I want to do is I want to move my mouse to the border and then go ahead and click it until I see this solid line. And now I can apply a universal change to this content placeholder. So now if I go back to my bullets here, I can go ahead and apply some square bullets, maybe some star bullets here. I'll go ahead and apply the stars as well. Very nice. Okay, so this is actually an unordered list. So if it has to do with bullets, it's an unordered list. I'm gonna go ahead and copy this data over here. I'm gonna right click, say copy. I'm gonna move to my other content placeholder here. And I could just go ahead and press the Control V. Or I can just right click. I notice that I have different paste options here. So I can use the destination theme. I can keep the source formatting. I can copy it or paste it as a picture, or I can just go ahead and keep the text. I'll go ahead and just use the default here. But what if I don't want these to be bullets? I want them to be numbers. Let's go ahead and grab that border, click here. And this time in my paragraph command group, I'm going to go ahead and click on the numbers here. Now, just like that, I change this from a bulleted list to a numbered list here as well. Well, let's go ahead and apply some formatting here or some editing. And we're just going to spend some time up here in our font group. And let's go ahead and apply a different font type, size, and color for each of our items here. So I'm going to go ahead and double click Excel. And maybe I'll go ahead and give it the next font in the group, which is this agency. And I'll go ahead and give this maybe that Excel green here, more like this. Go ahead and double click on Word. And notice I have this little mini tool here as well. So if I want to, I can, after I double click, I can actually change it right here if I want to. So maybe I'll go ahead and give this the Algerian font. And I'll change the size. I can either change the number here, or I can just increase the font size by here. I'll give it 24. Now I'll go ahead and try to give that Microsoft Word blue. Maybe I'll give it this one here. And then PowerPoint. Just go ahead and grab PowerPoint. This time I'll go back to the menu. And let's see what our next font is here on our list. So we have this font here, which is hard to pronounce. I'll go ahead and make this a little bigger, maybe give it 28. And I'll give this another color here, orange for PowerPoint. Very good. Finally, I'll go down to Outlook here and I'll give Outlook the next font in our list here, which is Arial. And maybe I'll make this 20. And I'll give this a different shade of blue here than my Microsoft Word. Maybe a darker. There we go. And so there you go. We're able to go ahead and just apply different formatting to our text here. Let's go ahead and insert a text box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go head over to my Insert tab here. And I'm going to go ahead and insert a text box. Okay. So to insert a text box, you want to head on over to our text command group here. I'm going to go ahead and insert this text box. Inserting a text box is it's a pretty good idea when you just want something to stand out on a slide. And the good thing with the text box, it doesn't really obey the rules. You can put it wherever you want to without kind of interfering with the other content on our slide here. So I'm going to go ahead and draw this down here. Notice you have a little sword looking icon here. So now you have to go ahead and draw that text box. And what I'll do, I'll just write the word tips in here. So if I learn any tips along the way, I can go ahead and just write the tips that I learned in here as well. I do want to point out that because now I'm clicked on an element, such as the text box here, I do get a contextual menu. So if I look up here at the top right of my ribbon, I see shape format. It's almost saying, hey, click on me. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. So it's recognizing my text box here as a shape. And there's a lot of things that we can do with it. We can actually apply a shape style. So if I hover over these shape styles, take a look at how my text box is changing. Maybe I'll move it up here so it's a little easier for us to see how it changes. And if I scroll down, so as you scroll down, you get more options. Go from outline to fill colors. Some of these have fill colors with an outline. So it really depends on what you want to do. Go all the way to the bottom, you have different variations here. Maybe I'll select this one here, this moderate effect, light turquoise, accent 5. And I'm going to go ahead and move this down here to the bottom of my screen. And what I'll do, maybe I want to go ahead and align it. Notice that I'm still on this contextual menu here for my shape format. So over here in my arrange, I can go ahead and align this. So I'm going to go ahead and align it all the way to the bottom. And then I'm going to align it all the way to the right, just so that it's kind of out of the way on my slide here. And I want to enter this on the following slide. So I'm going to go ahead and right click, and I can save this as the default text box. So again, I just right click on my text box here, and right here, 4 from the bottom, I can set it as the default text box so that when I insert a text box next time, it will look exactly like this, the formatting that I created for here as well. So go ahead, pause the video, insert a text box, give it some style, write the word tips in there, and just practice taking a look at the different fonts and colors that we have in PowerPoint. And I'll be right back. Very good. Okay, so notice I did add a small tip here. And the tip is that we can save a text box as default. Let's talk about adding graphics. Pictures are a really great way, and graphics are a really great way to make your presentation stand out. So let's go ahead and add some. So I'm going to go ahead and insert a slide here as we have before. This time I want a little more flexibility with my slides. So I'm just going to select title only, so I can have a little canvas to work with, so I can insert some pictures and some shapes and take a look at some of the features that we have available for that as well. So title only, and I'll title this one graphics. Graphics here. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go up to my insert tab. Earlier we visited this tab when we inserted a text box. Now I'm going to go back here, and I'm getting some recommendations here. That's fine. I'm going to go ahead and insert a picture. Now notice when you click on the picture drop down, you have several options here. So you can insert a picture from your device. We can get